Yeah, so let's start on our back with our legs bent. And it feels like a fairly gentle class this morning. So just feel your contact with the ground. And bending your knees, wriggling anywhere that feel it needs to just find a more comfortable position. And I was just inspired by something called Aparigraha, which is one of the philosophies of the Yamas, Niyamas, to cultivate. And we probably did this once before in a workshop, but Aparigraha refers to non-attachment. So important. So it's about the non-attachment to your yoga practice, although that's very difficult because we love our yoga practice and we love what it does for us, but it also applies to other things in our life, like not accumulating more than we need, and being able to let go of outcome, really. So as you lay there, just have your hands on your lower belly. And I'll just read a clip from the Bhagavad Gita, which is a book which contains lots of the philosophies of the yoga class, of the yoga philosophies. Let your concern be with the action alone, and never with the fruits of action. Do not let the results of your action be your motive, and do not be attached to inaction, spoken by Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. So what it's saying is, don't be attached to the pleasure or to the pain. Just be in each moment. And as you find yourself trying to achieve more, trying to stretch a bit more, just notice if you're putting too much effort in. That's usually the way we go. That's our culture. Too much effort, too much pushing. Come back. We want it to be a balanced place where we practice our yoga from. So have your hands on your lower belly, feet on the ground. Roll your head from one side to the other side, noticing how the muscles of your neck are this morning. Notice if your breath just already automatically breathes in one side and out the other side, or perhaps there's an extra breath in the middle, no problem. Noticing more the sensations that happen as you begin to move. And then rest your head in the middle. Just lift your sacrum slightly off the ground, ever so slightly, pressing somewhere else in your back. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, just lowering your back down to the ground. Notice what happens in your feet and your legs. And then just let that heavy part of your hips rest there. Just arching your upper back so that your shoulder blades lift away from the floor. Inhale, and as you exhale, lay your shoulder blades back down on the ground. Okay. And then your arms about 45 degrees outside of your body. And inhale, as you exhale, roll your palms down towards the floor. They might already be down towards the floor. And then inhale and open your palms. So roll your arms all the way until your palms are open, and notice where that movement, where you feel it. Exhale, rolling your palms down. And just continue that with your own breath. Inhale and open. And exhale and close. And then just resting, let's ground for a moment, come to our center, come to our breath. From doing to just being. What a luxury, we can do that. As you lay there, notice how much your body wants to sink into the ground. How much can you let go? It could be that you feel sometimes like you're floating above the ground, a bit like a hovercraft and not quite landing. Perhaps just getting ready for the next direction, for the next diversion. So just see if you can let it go. Notice anything else that comes up with that. And encourage your breath to become long and slow for the next 4 rounds. You might have your hands, or you might want to move your hands onto your lower belly. To encourage that, maybe open your mouth with a sigh, letting out. Anything old that wants to move out of your body. And after the 4th one, just letting everything rest. Stretching your arms overhead. And on the inhale, stretch away with your fingers and with your toes. Notice what you need to move to make that doable and comfortable. And then release. And the next time, right arm, left toes, diagonal. Taking in probably the front of the shoulder, solar plexus, across the belly, left hip. And release. Do that 2 more times on that side. Inhale and stretch. And exhale and release. Okay, then opposite side. Right toes, left arm, stretching away, opening out, if you can do, opening out your armpits, opening out the joy into your heart through your heart channels there by opening your armpit. And release. And again, can you feel the front of your shoulders, solar plexus, right rib as you stretch that and open the front of the body. And release, bringing your arms back down to your side. Bend your knees again and open your knees slightly wider than your hips. Arms about level with your shoulders. And then let's let our knees drop to the right side. Let the head roll to the right side, follow towards the arm. And then we're going to inhale back up and exhale over to the left, getting that lovely twist into our lower back and spine, just soothing the nervous system, always good. We inhale back up, we exhale over to the side, so following your breath. Bringing a little bit more movement into the lower abdominals, the lower back, maybe the sides of the front hips, and very likely the psoas muscle, very deep inside there. The psoas muscle getting a much needed stretch. And then the next time that your knees come up to center, take hold of your elbows above your eyes. Your forearms are above your eyes, and then let your elbows go to the right side, let your knees go to the left side. Inhale up, center, and exhale. Knees to the right, elbows to the left. Inhale up. Start to just sync with your own breath. And remember any thoughts that are jumping in about plans to do later on, when the weather dries up, or anything that's on your mind, just breathe towards it. Don't push it away. Breathe towards it, notice it, observe it, let it float on past and come back to what you're doing. So right back into the moment, mindful practice. Okay, and the next time that your arms are above and your knees are in the middle, we're going to bend the right ankle up onto the left knee and take the right hand and just press that knee away from us. So we're helping the right hip to open a little bit more, and it just springs back. Maybe a chance for a big hara breath. Okay. And then lift your left foot off the floor, take hold of the back of the thigh with both hands, bring your head back to the floor, and notice as you bend your elbows and bring that thigh towards you, just notice where you feel that stretch. Breathe. A couple of deep yogic breaths into that lovely stretch, opening through right through the center of the buttocks, helping any sciatic pain, any tightness in the buttocks or the sides of the hips. On the next exhale, forehead up towards the ankle, shoulders just dropping away from your ears. And can you take 2 full breaths into that position? And remember, just the right amount of effort. Don't be attached to staying there longer, although you might want to challenge yourself. Don't be attached to the burn. That's not necessarily a healthy place. You know which is your edge. You know where it's just right. Exploring that edge. And then bringing your foot back to the floor. And the right foot comes back to the floor too. If your knee is a bit of a wobble. And then bring your left ankle onto the right knee. Rest your left knee away. And then reach through to take hold of your right thigh and lay your head back on the ground so that you can really bring the thigh towards you. And you notice I'm not saying pull the thigh, because I don't want you to pull and overstretch. I want you to move it within its capabilities. A couple of deep breaths in there. Inhale and exhale your forehead up towards your ankle. Shoulders are relaxed. Maybe 2 more full deep breaths. Release your hands slightly. Foot comes back down to the ground. Left foot comes back to join. And rocking your hips. And then roll yourself over onto your side. We're going to come up to standing. Okay, so first of all, we're going to do some double breath techniques. So we're going to step the right foot out. We're going to bring the arms out. So the right hand comes on top. The right hand and the right leg. Right hand comes on top. Almost like you can feel the energy here, the ball of chi just between our hands. And first of all, we're going to inhale one movement up and exhale. Keep reaching your fingers away so your arms are straight and yet your shoulder blades are still coming back a little bit so you're not leaning forward. Okay, oops. Let's do that again. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And I notice I'm breathing out through my mouth, so whatever feels good there, if it feels good just to exhale through your mouth, go ahead and do that. Okay, and the next time just resting, it's just a tiny space like a little marble in between your hands, and then we're going to do 2 breaths. Inhale, inhale, sorry, it's 2 sips of 1 breath, and then exhale back down. And the last time, exhaling down. Okay, let your arms rest and step the right foot back to join the left. Okay, and when we're making the Qigong movements like this, it's probably less in our mind or in our wanting to be more pushy and to be more, to put more effort in. I don't know how that is for you. So this time our left hand's on top, right arm's underneath, see if you can stretch both. Feel that marble of chi just between your hands, and then we're going to do the 1 breath. We're going to inhale up, left knee's bent, and we're going to exhale down. Let's just do that with an exhale through the mouth. And the next time, 2 breaths. So starting off, hands together, inhale, inhale, and exhale. Keep your focus on the breath and the movement, mindful movement. One more time. Okay, and then resting your hands down, and I can feel I'm just on my edge there. My arms are starting to burn a little bit, so my mind's saying, right, ready to stop. So maybe I'm just going to hold for 1 more breath and then move my arms down. I don't know how that was for you. Maybe you stopped a couple of breaths sooner than that, just listening to what your needs were. Okay, so let's do a series where we're going to just kind of turning to the side a little bit. We're going to breathe in and bend our knees to the front. So some breaths, and exhale and straighten. Let's just do that a couple of times. Inhale, knees go straight forward, arms come well above your shoulders, or maybe hands meet if your shoulders are flexible enough. Arms are straight. So knees are bent as the arms come up. And now, next time that the arms are down, we're going to come into a standing squat. So Bend the knees, arms come forward. Let's take the arms a little bit higher up next to the ears, pressing your fingers away. And exhale down. We're going to inhale up into the sun breath. And exhale down. And then into the standing squat, knees forward. Lovely exercises to bring us right into our breath here. Just notice if you can move on the rhythm of your breath. Maybe you dry your breathing so that your breath and the movement is slower. Okay, and the next time let's just stay in the standing squat. We're going to, as though we're sitting down in a chair, we can maybe just tuck the tailbone under so that the back straightens and it's easier to hold that posture. Maybe 2 more full breaths. Can we hold that? Building the stamina in our arms. And then exhale. Just close your eyes for a moment. Let your arms rest. Great. And then letting your eyes open, taking a big step apart on the mat, and we're going to do a movement that opens our heart. So in this movement we want to feel our arms bending and stretching. Again, we're working a bit with the heart meridian. So let's go to the left side first. We're going to dip down to the left, circle through the front, circle up to the right side, and as we come back up, a bit like a pendulum, we're going down to the right, over the front, up to the left. And there's kind of a sway in this movement. Yeah, so as we come up, that's when our arms straighten. So let's just pause as we come up so that our arms are nice and straight. We've got contact with our legs all the time. And the breath is flowing. See if you can turn the corners of your mouth up into a smile. Opening your heart out, passion in your heart. We do 2 more times to each side, so really asking a little bit of stamina, but knowing if that's enough for us, it's okay just to slowly come to a halt. So when we get back to the centre the next time, we're going to roll our spine up. Lovely. Okay, you might want to step your feet together. And then again, just notice if you can feel any parts of your body where the energy is moving. Perhaps it's not in your arms or your heart, maybe it's somewhere else. And let's do a favourite stretch for our neck as we're here. Well, first of all, just dropping your chin onto your chest. And then roll your chin to the right side, right ear to the right shoulder. Inhale and exhale, rolling through the centre. Feeling all those attachments touch the head and the neck. Very often overworking, clenching, jaw clenching, and just getting things done in life. And just bring some softness to this area. Okay, the next time that your head is over to the right, take hold of your left right hand. Take hold of your right wrist with your left hand and just see if you can lengthen that arm downwards whilst you keep your shoulders level and your head still over to the right. Your face is forward, so your eyes are looking directly forward. Might be just an extra gentle pull. Okay, then release the arm. Circle your head over to the other side. Head to the left. We take hold of the left wrist and we just gently encourage it to move away from the shoulder, stretch away from the shoulder. This might feel nice. There might be something else you want to put in there, just an extra movement to loosen that shoulder. And we take 2 more breaths into that. And exhale, releasing. Your head back to the center, lifting up, looking up towards the sky. Take your hand to your neck, soothing your central nervous system there, just massaging both sides of the neck and maybe looking up to the sky and making some movements with your jaw, grimacing, opening up these muscles of the throat so you're able to express and take in what you need. The throat chakra, important not only in speaking but also in listening, in communication in general. Okay, and then resting your chin down. Lovely. We're going to step to the back of the mat. We're going to do kind of a diagonal balance posture, because I just feel like we want to stretch across the diagonal and come into a balance. So we'll do the warrior 3. So let's start with our left foot. So step your left foot forward. Bring your arms overhead. You could also practice this with a tie. If your arms are overhead, I'm just showing you what the tie might look like. Or you could interlace your fingers into the temple position, or just have your arms above your shoulders. So inhale, and as you exhale, just bringing your weight onto the front foot. And then we're pointing the back foot, and then we're just steadying our balance. So the standing knee, the front knee is bent, and then just start to lift and look for that horizontal, pressing your fingers away. Remember, Aparigraha, non-attachment to the fruits of your labour. So whether you balance or not is not important. Here you are practicing. Stretch your fingers away if you can. Stretch your toes away if you can, looking for that horizontal line, and the eyes down towards the ground. When you're ready, you might want to stop that and just have another go on that side if you had a wobble. When you're ready, step your right foot back to the ground and release your arms down. Step the left foot back to join the right. And I'll give you a bit of extra time just in case you're still in the posture, and also on the next side as well if you want to just challenge yourself and challenge your edge. So looking straight ahead to start with, step your right foot forward, bend the right knee, arms up above your shoulders. That's the easiest position, because then if your shoulders are tight, you can still manoeuvre your upper body. And then we start to lift, put the weight onto the front leg and reach. Notice if one side feels so much easier than the other side, or so much more balanced. Pressing your fingers away, toes away. Can you hold it? 2 more breaths. Maybe you want to hold it for 3 or 4. When you're ready, you exhale, bring your foot back down. Arms float down. And stepping your right foot to join your left. And just close your eyes for a moment, and there hopefully you can feel the prana moving through your body. Kind of either a tingling or a warmth, or just that there's something moving to help your body to function. The vital energy. Okay, we're going to come back down to the ground. So bend your chin onto your chest. We're going to come lay on our back, and we're going to come into the Supta Baddha Konasana. So it's possible that if you've got cushions next to you, in fact, take your cushions. Hopefully you're in places where you've got cushions available these days. And so we bring the soles of our feet together, and then we lengthen our spine, lay our back down on the mat. So here's a rest posture, a restorative. And the cushions, we can just look at our knees, which one is sticking up the highest, and maybe we can put the fattest cushion under there, or we can even double it up. I want you just to allow your legs to be supported. So you might want to double it like that. You might have a block that works. And just feel the difference when you support your legs there. What do your legs say to you? They probably say, like, ahimsa, non-violence. We're really being kind to our body and inviting it to open and stretch rather than forcing it. Notice where your mind is. No judgment about where it might have skipped away to. Bring it back into this moment. Connecting the mind and the body. So perhaps you're aware of sensations, maybe a stretch on the inside of your legs, or just a pleasant feeling of support from the cushions. Notice if the mind has anything to say about that. And in any case, when we come into the sensations and how we feel, that's like absolutely this moment. So generally the mind is just put to the side for a moment. Okay, then bring your hands onto your thighs and roll your knees into the middle. And then just roll your knees up and take hold of your knees with your hands and rock from side to side. Okay, and from there, keep your cushions handy. From there, let's roll onto our side. And bending your right leg and allowing your left leg to stretch out and opening your knees as wide as you can. Okay, and then to start with your stretched leg, just see if you can roll the toes inwards towards your groin area and then outwards. So you're rolling your whole leg from the hip. You might want to just help it with your hand. Just feeling the capacity of the whole hip. All right, and then stop when your toes are right above your ankle, right in front of your knee. Okay, and then I want you to turn your torso, turn your face towards your bent knee. So feel your seat bones underneath, and then bring your left hand onto your long leg. All right. So if this is a big effort for your lower back, perhaps this is your posture here, just staying here with your hand on the ground and just simply lifting up, lengthening your spine away from the ground, and then maybe relaxing. Do that a couple of times anyway. Just lengthen. Start to feel it in your lower back, maybe in your shoulders. If it feels okay, then bring that hand onto your waist. Inhale, and as you exhale, we're going sideways towards the ankle. Quite a deep stretch in your lower back, so take care. This right shoulder keeps going back towards the back wall, so that it's a really side bend rather than a half side bend. Can we take 4 deep breaths into this place? Okay, on the next exhale, we're going to lift back up. And then you'll see just how far you've come. Okay, then we're going to turn towards the long leg with one hand either side of the knee. We're going to lift up again. So with a straight back, we're going to hinge at the hips. It looks more like that than a rounded shoulder. So we're looking above the toes. So we're inhaling, we're going to exhale and just look out over the toes. Your hands can come either side of your knee, or they could come onto your shin to support you. Coming as far forward as it feels good, feels safe and comfortable. Two more full deep breaths in and out. Inhaling back up. Okay, we're going to go into a seated twist from here. So this bent knee comes to lift up next to your leg, and then you put your foot on the outside. So the right foot comes on the outside of the left knee. Find your seat bones again. Hands onto the knee. And then inhale, and as you exhale, we're going to turn and look over your right shoulder. So let the hand come down to the ground. And we're twisting our neck, so we're opening also our throat chakra. Two more full deep breaths. And when you're ready, you inhale back up and you rotate your arm back. Okay. And then stretching both of your legs out. We're going to come to the other side. So we stretch out the right leg and feel the seat bones, find your seat bones, and then just with your hands supporting you, just roll that whole leg. Toes, little toe. Rolling from the hip. Okay. And then we're going to turn towards your bent knee. We're going to bring the right hand down, and we're going to keep the left hand onto the lower back, and just inhale and exhale and stretch yourself, hand down towards your ankle, listening in carefully without overcooking it. One more full deep breath. Exhale, lifting back up. And then slowly turning towards your long legs. So it should be your right leg. Find your seat bones. Inhale and extend. And exhale, scooping the belly so we're lengthening the front body as well as the back body. We're looking over the toes, so about, well, as far as you can over the toes. That helps to keep our back straight and our shoulders not rounding too much. And then just pause. So pause, find the stillness in that place. Perhaps after the next breath, you just experiment and see if you want to go deeper into the posture. Maybe taking hold of your shin. Or maybe that's it. Maybe you really feel that, okay, that's me for today with that posture. I'm going to just come out of it and then do a counter stretch. One more full breath in and exhale. And as you come back up, just pausing for a moment. Picking up the left knee and putting that left foot on the outside of the right leg. Hands onto the knee. Left arm cycling round, comes to the floor. And then just lifting up, lengthening your spine, looking over your left shoulder. And the next inhale, lifting up your arms, cycling round again. Stretching your legs out in front of you. Okay, if you need to do a counter stretch after that, go ahead. It might be that you just want to round your back, or actually just drop your head onto your knees. That's a nice rounding on your back. Probably just what your back's asking for. And then come up to sitting. Let's do a mudra. So the Lotus Mudra, symbol of purity, the lotus flower, rising up through the mud into a beautiful flower. And so remember, we already said that there's the heart channels run into the fingers, so we're very much stretching the fingers here in this one. So bring your little fingers together and your thumb sides together, and your other hands are a bit like an open bowl. Okay, so in front of your heart, if possible. Okay, and then squeeze all your fingers into the middle. So it's a bit like the bud of the lotus flower. Squeeze them just as much as you can. Take a couple of deep breaths into that place. So clearing out our heart, just clearing away any cobwebs around it, any fogginess around it, and just noticing that we're doing this in the springtime when we're starting to get little buds already on the trees. Okay, so, and then we're going to inhale and open. So inhale and open the fingers, and then exhale and squeeze. Inhale, stretch all your fingers away, and exhale and squeeze. And just continue to do that with your breathing. And there is a mantra, an affirmation that goes with this. I open myself to nature. I open myself to the good that exists in every human being. And I open myself to the divine so that I will be richly blessed. I open myself to nature. I open myself to the good that exists in every human being. And I open myself to the divine so that I will be richly blessed. So just feeling which part of that affirmation resonates with you. Maybe you have your own affirmation. Maybe it's for bringing in some clear, pure, fresh, lively energy and letting go of anything that's cluttering us up. That's also part of Aparigraha. Not acquiring more than we need, letting go, clearing out the clutter. That can be physically, mentally, as well as in our environment. It's almost like you start to make that movement with the beat of your heart and your breath. If there's any place that you want to stop, either with your hands open and just take a few more breaths there, or with your hands closed, then just go ahead and do that. And then the next time, just closing your fingers together, just pausing with the holding in what we've brought into us. Perhaps you connect a little bit more here with your physical heart or the energy around the heart. Maybe just giving a smile into that space between your hands in the mudra and your physical heart. And then letting your hands rest down, noticing how that was for you. And as you're ready, come lay on your back Or maybe there's another posture that you might want to complete before you lay on your back. Bringing yourself into your space for Shavasana. And as you lay on the ground, let's do a cycle of consciousness. So really mindful practice from the Satchitananda tradition. And so every time I mention a body part, see if you can bring your awareness there. If you drift off, you'll come back and then just land in that place. So bringing your awareness to your right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, the bones of your foot, the sole of your foot, the heel, the top of your foot, your ankle, calf muscle on the right side, shin, back of the knee, front of the knee, the thigh on the right leg, the hamstrings and the quads, and the attachment to the right hip. Feeling your right hip bone, ball and socket joint, the right side of your sacrum. Bringing your awareness to your left foot, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe. Sole of your foot, top of your foot, heel, ankle, Achilles, shin, your left leg, calf of your left leg, back of the knee, front of the knee, left thigh, the left side of your hip, left side of your sacrum. Bringing your awareness to your right thumb on your hand. First finger, second finger, third finger, fourth finger. Palm of your hand, the back of your hand. The wrist on your right hand. Forearm, elbow, upper arm, front of your shoulder, back of your shoulder, and the ball and socket joint of your right shoulder. Bring your awareness to your left hand, left thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger, palm of your hand, back of your hand, wrist of the left hand, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder on the left side, shoulder joint, front of the shoulder, space between the left shoulder and the right shoulder, the space between the sacrum and the back of the neck, space between the shoulder blades. Bringing your awareness to your right eye, left eye, right nostril, left nostril, right jawbone, left jawbone. Feeling the space in your throat, breastbone, ribs. Ribs on the right side, ribs on the left side. The space between your ribs and your pubic bone. Belly on the right, belly on the left. And the space below your navel, space above your navel. And sinking in to a place of deep relaxation, noticing if any thoughts jump in, just letting them go, coming back exactly where you need to be in this moment. Noticing where you are and checking in with yourself if you might want to stay there. There's no obligation to come back up and end the class with everybody else because you're in the comfort of your own home. Because it may be such a deep relaxation also. And if you do, and just beginning to stretch into your fingers, stretch into your toes. Bend your knees, roll over onto your side. And coming up to sitting, let your eyes be closed. Taking in your whole practice. I'll just give you a couple more moments. And bringing your hands together in front of your heart. Taking in your whole practice and noticing Aparigraha. It maybe has a bit more meaning to you. Non-attachment, not being attached to the fruits of your yoga practice or the outcome. So just being fully in it. And then you notice that the highs and lows are impermanent. You can cope with them. Okay, bowing your heads below your heart. Big sign of gratitude to yourself for coming to practice this morning. And exhaling, eyes and hands open. Namaste.